Hi there, and welcome to the British Accent Podcast. I'm Emily.
And I'm Nick. Today, we want to talk about something that goes far beyond grammar and vocabulary. We want to talk about what it really means to learn English, not as a task, but as a bridge. A bridge to the world.
Yeah, because sometimes we forget. It's easy to get caught up in the day-to-day struggles, memorizing phrasal verbs, trying to understand native speakers, getting frustrated when you don't remember a word.
But underneath all that, something much bigger is happening. When you learn English, you're not just adding a new skill. You're opening doors, to people, to cultures, to opportunities you might never have reached otherwise.
Exactly. It's not just a classroom thing. It's a life thing. The moment you start learning English, you're expanding the number of people you can talk to. You're widening your world, bit by bit, sentence by sentence.
And that's a powerful feeling. Even if your English isn't perfect, you can connect with someone on the other side of the world. You can hear their story. You can share yours. You can understand each other in ways you couldn't before.
It's such a beautiful thing when you think about it. English becomes more than just a language. It becomes a bridge. A way to meet people you wouldn't have been able to meet, to read things you wouldn't have been able to read, to see things from new perspectives.
Yeah. And sometimes, that bridge isn't just between you and the world, it's also between you and yourself. You discover new thoughts, new feelings, new parts of your personality when you speak another language.
Definitely. There's something about using a new language that gives you permission to grow. To express things differently. To question things. To dream bigger.
And the best part? You don't have to be fluent for that to start happening. The bridge doesn't suddenly appear when you reach some advanced level, it's being built every single time you practice, every time you try.
Even when it feels small, like writing a message online, or understanding a line in a film, those moments are real. They are signs that the world is getting a little closer, and that you're getting a little braver.
It's easy to forget how powerful that is. Especially when you're still learning and you're focused on what you can't say yet. But every word you do know, every sentence you manage to say, that's part of the bridge.
And sometimes that bridge brings you to places you never expected, friendships, jobs, ideas, stories, even confidence you didn't know you had. English doesn't just connect you outward, it grows you inward too.
That's the bit no one really tells you at the beginning, isn't it? You think you're just learning a language, but really, you're stepping into a wider version of life. One where there's more possibility. More connection. More you.
And that connection isn't always loud or dramatic. Sometimes it's as simple as understanding someone's message. Or feeling seen in a comment section. Or reading something that makes you feel less alone.
And all of that becomes possible because you chose to learn. You chose to show up, even when it was hard. Even when it was frustrating. Even when your confidence felt low.
That's what makes English such a meaningful journey. It's not just about mastering the language. It's about how you use it to reach the world, and how the world starts reaching back.
And the more you build that bridge, the more you realize, you belong in those conversations. You belong in that space. English isn't something you borrow. It's something you're growing into, one word at a time.
And that process, growing into it, looks different for everyone. For some people, it's fast. For others, it takes years. But either way, you're moving forward. You're creating a connection where one didn't exist before.
And it doesn't matter if your sentences aren't perfect. Connection doesn't need perfection. It needs presence. It needs heart. And you already have that.
Exactly. I think people get so focused on sounding native that they forget how far they've already come. They forget that there was a time when they didn't know a single word, and now they can have real conversations.
That's such a good point. Because it's easy to compare yourself to someone who's ahead of you, but if you look back at where you started, you'll see a whole path of progress. A whole bridge you've been building without even realizing it.
And that bridge might already be helping someone else. Maybe there's a friend you support in English. Or someone you encouraged, because you understood what it's like to feel unsure. That kind of connection matters.
Yeah, your English doesn't have to be perfect to be powerful. If it helps someone feel heard, if it lets you be part of a moment that matters, that's enough. That's more than enough.
And I think that's something to carry with you. Every time you feel stuck, or frustrated, or not good enough, remember what you're really doing. You're not just memorizing words. You're building something human.
You're creating space. For friendships, for learning, for growth. You're building a bridge that doesn't just connect you to others, it gives others a path to reach you too.
And I think that's one of the most beautiful things about learning any language, but especially English, because it's so widely used. You're not just preparing for an exam or a job. You're opening yourself to the world.
And the world opens itself back to you. Through stories, through conversations, through unexpected moments, like laughing at a joke you finally understand, or helping someone who's just starting their journey.
It really becomes a two-way path. You're not just receiving. You're giving. You're offering your voice, your ideas, your personality, in English, and people respond. Even if they don't say it directly, they feel it.
And sometimes, that's all it takes to create something meaningful. Not a perfect sentence. Not a flawless accent. Just a moment where someone feels seen, because of something you said, or the way you listened.
And that's the real goal, isn't it? To feel connected. To belong. To feel like you can join the conversation, not just sit on the outside of it. And English can be your way in.
So when it gets frustrating, and it will, from time to time, try to remember the bigger picture. You're not just learning English. You're making your world bigger. You're giving yourself the chance to be part of things you care about.
And that matters so much more than perfect grammar. That kind of courage, to keep trying, to keep reaching out, is the reason bridges get built at all.
And with every sentence you speak, with every word you understand, you're adding another piece. Quietly. Steadily. And eventually, you'll look around and realize you're already standing in a world that used to feel out of reach.
And that world doesn't have to be some big, dramatic thing. Sometimes it's just being able to say what you feel in a message. Or watching a film without subtitles for the first time. Or making someone laugh, not because you planned it, but because it just happened naturally.
Those little moments are everything. They are the signs that your bridge is working. That you're not stuck on one side anymore, you're crossing over, you're building something real.
And the most amazing thing is, you're doing it in your own way. Your own pace, your own style, your own voice. There's no single right way to build this bridge, just the way that works for you.
And I think when you let go of the idea that you have to learn English a certain way, or sound a certain way, you start enjoying it more. You start noticing the beauty in small wins. You give yourself credit more often.
And honestly, that self-recognition is so important. Because when you realize how much you've already done, how far you've already come, you start trusting yourself more. You stop waiting for someone else to say you're good enough. You know you are.
It's funny, people often think of English as just a subject to study, like maths or history. But for many people, it becomes so much more than that. It becomes a tool for independence. For connection. For becoming.
It becomes a way to see yourself differently. Not because you've changed who you are, but because you've grown who you are. You've stretched into something wider. You've added more colors to the picture of your life.
And that's why, even when it's hard, even when progress feels slow, it's still worth it. Because the English you're learning is opening more than just conversations, it's opening possibilities.
And possibilities don't always look big from the outside. Sometimes it's just feeling confident enough to join a group chat. Or understanding the lyrics of a song that used to feel out of reach. Those are quiet wins, but they're real wins.
It's funny how often we overlook those small things, isn't it? Because they don't look dramatic. But they are actually signs of freedom. Little bits of freedom being added to your life, slowly but surely.
Exactly. And freedom doesn't mean fluency. It means choice. The choice to speak up. The choice to learn more. The choice to connect, when and how you want to.
That's such a good way to put it. Because when you realize English is giving you more choice, more agency, you start to see it as something empowering, not just something difficult.
And it becomes part of who you are. Not a perfect part. Not a polished part. But a living, changing part of your story. A bridge that you've been building with your own hands, in your own time.
And one day, without even noticing it, you'll cross that bridge so easily you'll forget it was ever hard. You'll look back and think, wow. I actually did that.
And not just because you studied hard, though that matters, but because you kept showing up. You kept trying. You believed there was something on the other side of that bridge worth reaching for.
And you were right. Because the other side of that bridge isn't just people and opportunities, it's you, with more confidence, more openness, more perspective.
And that version of you. It's already being built. Every word. Every effort. Every day you choose to keep going, you're not just learning English. You're creating something far bigger.
You're building a bridge, not just to the world, but to yourself. A version of you that's more connected, more expressive, more open to everything life can offer when you allow yourself to speak, even before you feel ready.
So if you ever feel like your progress is too slow, or your English isn't good enough, remember this. Every step you take is building something real. And every brick you lay on that bridge matters.
Thanks so much for listening today. We hope this reminded you that your English journey is about so much more than words. It's about connection, discovery, and finding your place in the world, one conversation at a time.
You're doing beautifully. Keep building. We'll speak to you again soon.